But he found himself in a position to pursue advocacy for others and discovered his calling in personal injury law. He reads voraciously and believes deeply in continuing self-development, always working to better serve his clients during some of the most difficult times in their lives. When he's not in the courtroom or office, you'll find him with his hands in an engine. He works on cars and motorcycles to unwind. But these days, most weekends, you'll spot him and his family in their RV exploring different parks with their kids, Griffin and Daisy. It's his way of stepping away from the intensity of work and staying grounded in what matters. Lovingly dubbed as the professor, Payman has a thoughtful way of breaking down complex situations that help people understand what they're facing. He's soft-spoken, but when he speaks, people listen. He brings an element of the philosophical to his work. He sees each case not just as a legal matter, but as someone's story that deserves to be heard and understood with dignity. Take it away, Payman.
My name is Aramjoo, and today I have the pleasure of being here with my wonderful wife, Ashley Aramjoo. And together, we own the Aramjoo Law Firm, where we represent injured people by giving them a voice, helping them pave their path, and begin their new beginning. The last presentation I did was really raw. I tried to give you guys an understanding of why and the backdrop, and today's a little bit more mechanical, as I'm teaching my marketing team what it is we do and how it is to help grow our firm. I thought I'd go through some when, why, and how to work with us. So first off, what do we focus on? We focus on auto accidents. And when people are trying to think, well, when is it that this person should be referred to Payman and Ashley, I broke it down into just two simple elements. The first element is somebody else was responsible for the car accident. That's of course simple. We don't represent people who caused the car accident. We represent people that were injured in the car accident by somebody else's negligence. And the second thing is that somebody was injured. We don't do property damage only. When we do help people with their car, when they're involved in an accident, we don't charge them for it. We feel like it's our responsibility, it's a value add. We do represent the person that was injured by the result of someone else's negligence. Our mission. Ashley and I spent a lot of time trying to reflect on what it is that at the heart of what we do. What is it can we promise our clients that each and every one of them that we will do for them? And what it comes down to is honoring every client's story and pursuing full compensation for their injury. The honor their story is really a critical part of what we do. In order to honor our client's story, we have to take the time to listen to our client's story, understand their pain points, so we can appreciate what they're going through. I think that's the major value add that our firm gives where other firms fall short. Our why, I just want to briefly touch on it for people that weren't here last time for our presentation. We have had our firm since 2014, but in 2021, I lost my father to a motorcycle wreck. We were on a cross-country motorcycle trip, and unfortunately he was rear-ended and passed away at the scene. It was the conduit for us to do what we do because it became really personal to help others go through things that we unfortunately had to go through as well. The big difference in what we do and how we do it is we represent humans. I understand we're attorneys. I understand attorneys get caught up on the law. But at the end of the day, what really matters in what we do is representing humans and what humans have gone through. And in order to do so, we have to be humans to the humans that we represent. And that's a distinct difference about our firm relative to others. Nobody in our office has a file number. In fact, we identify our projects by our client's name. How we do it. This is our promise to our clients. So if a client were to sign a fee agreement, an engagement letter, this is the promise we're making to them and what sets us apart. First is prompt communication. The number one bar complaint that attorneys get is communication complaints. Ryan is shaking his head affirmatively. You have to respond to your client promptly because they're going through sometimes the worst thing in their life. And it's our responsibility to advise them and make sure they understand what to do next and how to handle what they're going through. Proactive updates. Too often clients don't know what's going on in their case. I've heard examples of where clients haven't talked to their attorney for a year, which is terrible. So we have a responsibility to tell the client when they're in the treatment phase, when we're getting records, when we're in the jam, when we're negotiating, and what is going on if their case is being litigated. We have to get clarity and honesty. And sometimes that's hard. Not everybody has a case. That's a good thing. Sometimes people don't like to hear they don't have a case. I have the integrity and sincerity and responsibility to tell somebody they may have been injured, but they may not want to pursue litigation because it may not be the right case for them. It may not be the best way to spend their energy and time in their life. I have to remind clients that litigation takes time, it takes energy, and they might have important things to do, like spend time with their patient. Respect for time in the client's story. That goes back to our mission statement. We have to listen and care about our client. Relentless advocacy. We can't give up. We have to go the distance. Our firm takes pride in trying cases and not simply being a settlement mill where our focus is to just settle the case and move on. And then help behind the law. It's so often that people are reaching many difficult issues throughout their case. And it's our responsibility to connect them with doctors if they need it, other professionals if they need it, to help them outside of just their legal case. So when or should someone work with an attorney? If they've been involved in a car accident and they're injured. There's a big difference between represented and unrepresented adjusters. If you work with an attorney, you're automatically, in most cases, going to work with a more experienced adjuster that has more authority to settle the case. Also, adjusters are setting reserves. Everything you say to them is being used to determine the case value. And like I said in the 20-second ask, the adjusters are really using that information. Sometimes we depict what's said before we're hired. Why should someone work with an attorney? The two most common pain points we hear is medical bills are accruing, and they're nervous they're going to have debt. Also, the adjusters are really hard to work with, and sometimes they're not getting responses from the adjusters, or the adjusters are devaluing the case. Ashton and I's favorite Hollywood rendition of trying to determine case value is a movie called Boring. Please watch it, and let's talk about it at a one-to-one. It's an amazing topic. Some recent case examples, and this is just from this last year. Oftentimes insurance companies get terrible opening offers and people don't have the discipline or the wherewithal to say no. Too many cases are settled for far less than what they should be. We have opening offer $25,000, resolve the case for $100. Opening offer $4,000, resolve the case for $175,000. Opening offer $15,000, resolve the case for $150,000. Pre-suit offer $0, resolve for $500,000. Pre-suit offer $0, resolve for $545,000. This isn't uncommon. Too often, people get in a wreck, the adjuster throws them a terrible lowball offer, they sign the release, and there's nothing more they can do. And they've really undersold what they went through and the harm that they went through. Each of your tables, you have red envelopes. I've done an interview with the sheriff who says, if someone's involved in an accident, we have to contact their family. These moments matter. Sometimes people make it to the hospital and pass before families ever communicate. It's so easy for you all to keep this information in your car, so in case of an emergency, people know who to get hold of. Finally, tragedy. A minute and a half. The most important thing for me in this process is to make sure that people are informed. I won't work with everybody who potentially calls our office. Some people we shouldn't represent, some people we shouldn't proceed with. We do have, people believe, a very litigation-heavy or litigation-focused society. I represent people who truly believe have been injured by someone else's negligence that shouldn't have gone through what they went through. The tragedy that could take place is that there's a timeline that every case has to be filed by. If we don't file a case by that timeline, if we ever give up the opportunity to proceed with the case, it costs $0, and we work on a contingency, meaning that they don't pay us unless we collect. The worst tragedy is people don't know their options. The time period goes on, and they don't get counsel. And so I want you all to help me avoid that tragedy by happening. Thank you all so much.